Lockdowns during 2020 and 21 were tough for everybody. I remember at first being intrigued by that idea, but that quickly disappeared. I did over half of year 12 in my room and missed a lot of important days, and I ended up being in my room for what felt like the majority of lockdown, just trying to get rid of time. I learned some new hobbies, and I tried to get better at some old ones. I even learned to backflip. But before long, every day just began to feel like the last. I began dreading the next day's Zoom call, having to wake up and just walk 2 meters to my desk, feeling so unproductive sitting in bed all day, not seeing my family and friends. Life felt like it was running a million miles an hour, but just standing still at the same time. And the line between essential and non-essential was no longer there. And then finally, it was over. I didn't care that we had to wear masks. I was just happy to break out from that exhausting cycle.
What is your focus levels and abilities to learn online?
Well, honestly, pretty bad.
Filming and editing this mini doc was some of the most fun I've had in this course so far, and I really enjoyed working in a group and being able to get creative with the overlays and the interviewers' responses. Which brings me to my first point, in which I really had no idea how many different clips and shots of the same thing we needed to really kind of get a nice and smooth interview, and I learned how necessary each angle is to make sure it flows naturally. Another thing I learned is the difference pace can make in a video, and specifically the kind of emotion it can create. I tried experimenting a bit this week with my essential non-essential video. I tried to slow down the start a bit and then transition into the quickier, snappier cuts to kind of build up a bit of suspense, whereas with the group doc, it kind of stays consistent the whole way through. And I think that difference between the two is definitely something I hadn't considered before this week. This week's reading by Cal Newport was a bit confusing, I thought, actually. While he did make some good points about the benefits of just putting your head down and doing something, I don't think that this or that approach was something I necessarily agree with, and I think it's a bit more complicated than that. I think you have to have some sort of passion or drive when starting something to build and work hard on, and if it's not there to begin with, I don't think it's guaranteed that you will ever eventually love what you are doing. However, with that being said, I do think that this can be applied to editing, and perhaps with each new vlog, spending a bit of time trying something new will help build a passion for all stages of creating media. And a way I could put this into practice would be to try new things. And whether that's some in-camera transitions or a different style of cutting my videos, I guess I'll need to do some experimenting to see what pushes my passion for media.
If I'm quite strong in my opinions and thoughts, I need to broaden my perspective, hear other people's thoughts, for me to be able to advance my learning and take on feedback, take on other opinions, to not only help my learning in media, but just learning in general.
Our studies have shown that this is how university students learn best.